Hello. I'm just going to take you through a little bit of a standing sequence to just help kind of loosen up the body. So just come into a comfortable standing position, feet a little bit apart, and lean into your right leg, touching the left toes behind you. Just make sure that the thigh is hanging down directly from the hip as opposed to being forward of the hip, which causes activation of the hip flexor. You want to try and keep that hip flexor nice and relaxed. So on the toes of the left foot, you start to circle the ankle, do several of those rotations in one direction, and then start to reverse the direction of those rotations. Keeping the foot as soft as possible, and then change, stepping the right toes behind, and doing the same thing. So rotating in one direction several times, and then reversing the rotation. Keeping the knee and the hip nice and soft. And then weight back into both feet. Step the feet together, place the hands onto the knees and bend your knees, and we start to do some circles with the knees here. So again, ankles nice and soft here, let the weight move throughout and between the feet, keeping the toes nice and soft, not gripping. And then again, reverse the direction of those circles so that we just bring about balance to the body there. And then coming up to standing, stepping the feet apart, have your knees a little bit bent. Arms can rest beside the body, or if you want a bit of feedback, you can place the hands onto the lower belly. And we're going to start to circle the hips. Try to keep that movement isolated through the hips as opposed to making the upper body come along and make it all rigid. Okay, so keep the upper body still and the motion just coming through the hips. Then start to take those circles around in the other direction. And then back to stillness. Now we're going to do these little spirals. Just a reminder, landing points for the arm. Front arm comes up to the opposite shoulder, and then the back hand goes around to the opposite hip. So when you're ready, just rotating one direction, and again, just shifting the weight between the feet there. Particularly if you've got lower back issues, sacroiliac joint issues, you can just let that opposite heel lift away from the floor a little bit rather than being so rigid in your stance, so that we're not talking into the sacroiliac joints. So just doing a few more of these to help invigorate the body and get that blood flowing. And then coming back to stillness, and you can do that nice and gradually. Keeping the feet comfortably hip width apart, we're going to work into the shoulders as we start to do some circles. And then reversing the direction of those circles. And then back to stillness into the neck, turning the head to the right and bringing the nose back to center, around to the left and back to center. Again, just a couple more of these. Just taking the turn as far as the neck will comfortably go, not forcing, but feeling through the practice. Now dropping the ear to the right shoulder, upright, left ear to left shoulder and upright. Again, a couple more of these. Just mobilizing as you can through the neck. Noticing what you feel when you do these movements as well. So finding that starting point. And then coming back to neutral. Now turn the nose up to the sky. Back to neutral, chin to chest. And neutral. Again, a couple more. Being very gentle with these movements through the neck. And then coming back to neutral. Now step the feet a little bit wider now, turning the feet out to a comfortable position. So just be a little bit more wary if you are suffering from any pelvic pain, such as neuralgia in particular. The external rotation obviously works through those external hip rotators, and if we take it too far out, then sometimes we can aggravate the nerve. So stepping the feet as wide as is comfortable for you, so preferably a little bit wider than the hips. And then we're going to bring the hands down to the pelvis. We're going to bend the knees and inhale as we draw the breath up through the body as the hand reach to the collarbones. Then exhale as we press the palms away and straighten the legs. Inhale, bring the hands back to the collarbones. Exhale, pressing the hands down. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, palms overhead. Exhale, draw that energy down through center. Inhale, hands up to the collarbones. Exhale, pressing the hands away. Rotate the palms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, hands to collarbones. Exhale as we straighten the arms. Inhale, draw palms towards you. Exhale, pressing palms down. Inhale, scooping the air in. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Now bend your knees, place the hands to the thighs. Lift your right heel and swivel on the ball of the right foot. Reach your right shoulder towards your left knee, pushing with that left hand onto the thigh. Lift up, keep the hips moving forward and come into a lunge. Breath in. Lowering down, right shoulder towards left knee. Stay low through center if you can. Place the right heel to the floor. Lift your left heel. Swivel on the ball of the foot. Bring your left shoulder towards your right knee. Push through that right hand as you lift. Lengthening through this left hip flexor here as you gently activate the left glute. Lowering the left shoulder towards the right knee. Come down through center. If you need to at this point, you can stay up a little bit higher if that's more comfortable for your back. And around to the left. Push through that left hand, lift into the lunge. Inhale. Lower right shoulder to left knee, come down through center. And over to the right, swiveling on the ball of the left foot. Come up a little higher with the upper body. Inhale. Lower down. Back through center. Exhale. Come upright, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Pressing the palms away from you. Straighten the arms and legs. Breath in. Now bend your elbows, keeping the right arm overhead, left arm down. Bend the knees, breath in. Over to the left and breathe out. Come upright, swapping the arms around. Inhale. Over to the right. Exhale. Come back up to center, pressing the palms away from you, shoulders towards the hips. Now straighten the legs, bring the arms up overhead, palms together, breath in. And step back to Tadasana. And breathe out.